What's up guys, Idiocric is back, and today we're going to be talking about the IPL.
तू मेरा पुत्र छुट्टी का चल.
Oh, come on Polaji, IPL is the biggest league in the world, we're going to get a lot of views man. No, but all jokes aside, first and foremost I'm a cricket fan who's been depriving himself of watching the IPL and quality cricket all these years. Yes, you heard that right, I'm going to be watching the IPL in its entirety for the first time this year. The reason was that there were no Pakistani players and so I had very little interest. But recently, I've really become a global cricket fan and I've really come to appreciate the game, the art, and the soul of cricket. No, I'm just kidding. I just want the Indian viewership. So with this video, we're going to start off my IPL series. I'm going to watch the games for the first time, go through the ups and downs, expel my cricket opinions no matter how ridiculous those opinions might seem to actual cricket analysts. Remember, this channel is not about proper analysis, but more so just a psycho fan talking into his phone. So Akash Chopra wrote a Cricinfo article where he looked at all the squads of the IPL teams and chose that what he thought should be the starting 11. We are going to be going through each team of 11 that he chose and predicting how they're going to be doing in the tournament. Now keep in mind that this is going to be my first time watching the tournament, so I don't know any local Indian players. I only know the international Indian players and the other internationals. So my predictions are going to be based on my limited knowledge. Let's start off with the Mumbai Indians. So coming in to open is Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock. Now that's just a crazy combination. It's too overpowered. No wonder they've won so many titles. Then they've got two local players, Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav. I know Ishan Kishan hasn't done too well. Just looking at his IPL stats for the past 2 years. Last year he only played 7 games, and the year before that he played 14 games with a strike rate of 130. So maybe he's done well in their local domestic cricket or whatever. That's why Akash Chopra chose him to be in the 11, because they do, Mumbai Indians have Chris Lynn in their back pocket. Akash Chopra isn't even, he's leaving him out of the starting 11, which doesn't make sense to me, but maybe he sees something in Ishan Kishan. Then we move on to their bowling all-rounders, Kieron Pollard and Hardik Pandya. Man, that's another overpowering combo. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Now, moving on to their pace department, they've got Trent Bolt and Jasprit Bumrah bowling back-to-back. That's another deadly combo. So they've got 3 deadly pairs of cricketers in their starting 11. And it's crazy to think that they're missing one of their premier fast bowlers in Lasith Malinga, and they still have such a strong team. The only thing that you could maybe say is lacking is inexperience in the spin department with Rahul Chahar and Krunal Pandya. They haven't played too many games. However, I still think that this is a very powerful team and they're still going to end up in the top 4. Then we move on to the Chennai Super Kings, who they're calling the most experienced team in this IPL, aka old people. I mean, just look at the starting 11 that Akash Chopra chose for this team. The youngest players are 28 years old. So opening the batting, we've got Shane Watson and Ambati Rayudu. Shane Watson, who's retired from international for 5 years, he's 40 years old now. Then we've got Ambati Rayudu, who's 34. One down comes Faf du Plessis, who's about to retire from international cricket. Then comes MS Dhoni, who's retired. Then comes Kedar Jadhav, who's not retired, but he's also 35 years old. And then finally, we see a youngster in their team in Ravindra Jadeja, who's still 31 years old. Then comes more experience with Dwayne Bravo, Imran Tahir, and Piyush Chawla. I know Piyush Chawla is just 31, but he looks 40, so I mean, same thing, right? And then their only young players are fast bowlers, Deepak Chahar and Shardul Thakur. Imagine Lasith Malinga and Dale Steyn were in this team too. That would officially make it the oldest team in the universe. Now, having said all that, I still think that this team is very capable of going to the playoffs and might even win it all. I mean, yes, they're old, but they're some of the best players to have ever played the game. Ravindra Jadeja and Faf du Plessis are the best fielders literally in world cricket right now. MS Dhoni could still compete with any wicketkeeper in the world. Imran Tahir is still the best spinner in South Africa. Their pace department might be lacking in this specific 11, but they've got Lungi and Giri in their squad, in their back pocket. They've got Josh Hazelwood and Sam Curran in their back pocket as well, both of which who've performed beautifully in this ODI series that just passed. Looking at the squad right now and reading the list of names out loud, I think I might support this team. They're underdogs. I know they've won it a lot of times, but still, nobody's expecting them to win it this time. And then we move on to the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Oof, the memes and the jokes I've seen all over the internet. They've got some of the best players They had some of the best players in previous seasons and were never able to win it. Will Virat Kohli win the IPL this time? There are a lot of bizarre things going on in this world, and maybe RCB winning the IPL title is going to be another bizarre thing in 2020. So this year, RCB still has Virat Kohli, the best batsman in the world right now. They've got Aaron Finch opening, and they've got Yuzvendra Chahal and Adam Zampa in their spin department, although I don't think Adam Zampa is going to make it into their 11 unless the wicket is really spinning or Yuzvendra Chahal stops performing, which I don't think will happen. And then obviously they still got AB de Villiers. He could hit any bowler out of the park on his day. Same goes for Moeen Ali. Well, so Moeen Ali has done well historically in the IPL with the bat, but not so well with the ball. And seeing his recent form, I don't know if he's the best addition to this team right now. And then in their pace department, they got Mohammad Siraj and Umesh Yadav, which I don't think is going to be enough to win them the title this year. I don't think they get to the playoffs even. I mean, yeah, they got AB de Villiers and Aaron Finch and Virat Kohli, but batsmen don't win you tournaments. Bowlers do. Now we move on to the Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, I actually really want to support this team just because I'm a huge fan of Shah Rukh Khan. But looking at their team this season, I don't think they're going to have a chance to win. I mean, they have Sunil Narine opening. Okay, yeah, he's developed into a great batsman, but opening? Come on, man. This is like sending in Shahid Afridi to open. Shahid Afridi was never an opener. He was a great, lower order batsman. Not even great. All right, lower order batsman. But opening? Come on. So the bright spots in Kolkata's team are their foreign players. Ian Morgan, Andre Russell, Sunil Narine, and Pat Cummins. Although Pat Cummins hasn't been doing too well lately. And even Lockie Ferguson, if needed. Akash Chopra seems to want the Indian Pacers to be involved in this team, which I don't know if it'll be a good idea because I don't know how the local players have been performing. But, I mean, they've got Lockie Ferguson in their back pocket if anything happens. And we'll see what happens with this team. Hopefully they do well, but I don't think they will. Then we move on to the Sunrisers Hyderabad. And I want to support this team as well because I have a friend from Hyderabad. You know what? I don't really like him that much. So in this squad, you probably got the second best opening pairing in the tournament with Johnny Bairstow and David Warner. I still think that Rohit Sharma and Quinton de Kock are better openers, especially because it's going to be in the UAE conditions where it's going to be spinning wickets, and David Warner has known to not do too well in these conditions. Johnny Bairstow has been performing and David Warner has not. But maybe he'll come back into form in the IPL as many players normally do. They've got two Afghans in this team. They've got Muhammad Nabi and Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan is the best spinner in the world right now, and Muhammad Nabi is the best all-rounder in the world right now. So they've got some really good foreign players. One surprising thing that Akash Chopra did with this team is that he left Kane Williamson outside of the starting 11. So I don't know what's going to happen with this team because David Warner has not been in good touch. And he is the captain, so they can't really leave him out. And if Manish Pandey and the other batsmen do good, then there's not going to be any room for Kane Williamson either. So, I mean, they might have to leave out their captain at some point. And this team has also got some great talent with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Manish Pandey, and Ridhiman Saha. These are the only three players that I've heard of, and hopefully we'll get to know these other players as well this season. Next up, we got the most balanced team in the whole IPL this season. This team really has a chance to win it all this year, depending on how the captaincy goes, because Shiraz Iyer is a first-time captain, I believe. Besides his captaincy, Shiraz Iyer is a great player. I actually remember him making his IPL debut in 2015. I was watching some of his highlights, and he's in great touch, I think. In the pace department, they got Ishant Sharma and Kagiso Rabada. In the spin department, they got Sandeep Lamichhane. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry, Sandeep. They've got Akshar Patel and Ravichandran Ashwin, which they're both excellent all-rounders as well. They've got Alex Carey, who just hit a great 100, and Rishabh Pant as wicketkeeper, who is the Indian wicketkeeper. So, great balanced team. They've got Marcus Stoinis in their back pocket as well. I mean, this team really has a chance to win it, and I choose them in the top four with Mumbai Indians and Chennai. Now, this next team is a team that's probably going to be the closest to my heart. Kings 11 Punjab. Now, I want to be supporting Chennai, but the reason that I'm going to be supporting Kings 11 Punjab instead is because I'm from the Pakistan side of Punjab. And I mean, if Punjabis aren't going to support Punjabis, then who will, right? Now, this team is probably not going to be in the playoffs this year, just like many other years. Now, even though I don't think they're going to make it into the playoffs, I hope they do, but they've also still got a very balanced team that has all the potential in the world, with KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal opening, and then they've got Glenn Maxwell and Sarfaraz Khan in the middle order, and Mohammad Shami and Chris Jordan in the pace department. Now, we all know that Shami and Jordan are superior fast bowlers, and maybe they'll provide the fire that the Kings 11 Punjab need to win this whole tournament. Now, I don't know how this team is going to do, but hopefully we see some great hitting by Glenn Maxwell and Sarfaraz Khan. Sarfaraz Khan, who, by the way, has a very similar body to Sarfaraz Ahmed. Do all Sarfarazes look like that? And now we move on to probably what's going to be the fourth team in the playoffs, the Rajasthan Royals. Now, this team is really going to have to depend heavily on their foreign players. Okay, they've got Ben Stokes, Stephen Smith, Jofra Archer, and Joss Butler. If these four players keep on performing and stay fit, then I don't think there's anybody that can stop them from reaching the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to make it beyond the playoffs and maybe win the tournament, but they're still going to do good. And then in their local talent, they've got Yashasvi Jaiswal, who I've heard very good things about from Akash Chopra and also from a lot of other people. And I think he did really well in the Under-19 tournament that happened. And two players that I'm actually really excited to see in this IPL are Sanju Samson and Robin Uthappa. I mean, I've been watching Robin since the 2007 World Cup when he was opening for India, 2007 T20 World Cup. Hopefully, they're both back in form and perform well for their teams. So at the end, here are my rankings. Number 1, we got Mumbai Indians. Number 2, we got Delhi Capitals. Number 3, we got the Chennai Super Kings. Number 4, we got the Rajasthan Royals. Number 5, we got the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Number 6, RCB. Number 7, Kolkata. And, number 7, Kolkata. And number 8, Punjab. Thank you for watching our video. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we'll be making a lot more IPL videos to come.